if you guys know the history of this bike, it gets ridden.
We beat the out of this bike.
To finally break something is kind of twisted that I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to see what it is we broke.
All right, guys, what up? It's been a busy morning here at Blockhead Garage. Chris has been in the dyno, tuning up Goldzilla.
Well, we set new record.
Yeah, new record on Goldzilla with normal gas. With the E85, we had, what was it, 170, 160, 160, 170, something like that?
E85, I think we hit 165, 166, and like 158-ish.
Yeah, pretty good. So he's been tuning up the new exhaust, which if you guys didn't see the install video on that, Blockhead exhaust collaboration with Stealth is currently out. Go scoop that. Chris came in and I'm literally over there cleaning up a lift because I'm about to do a 1K service on this one. And Chris comes in with his arms up. How'd you do it?
Woo! I was like, come here, give me 5. Never have I been happy to break something.
So I gave him a fist bump and he said, we finally broke it.
Broke the compensator, finally. Everything was gold till I got back here. We have a little manhole, man cover, like a sewer grate in the middle of the road, and it has a nice little like boom. So usually if you slow down and you hit it right, you kind of little wheelie off it. Well, I went to wheelie off it and boop, just gave up right there. Heard it, broke, snap. I had to limp it in, but fortunately it was right there.
This is what a broken comp sounds like.
Yeah, let's not even try.
No?
Nah.
Damn. Well, it's a rattling sound and it's coming from like this area, so.
We're gonna open it up. We'll show you all what happened and what it looks like. And there was a lot of worry and comments from a lot of people about stock compensators and how much they can handle and all that goodness. Well, all of this is stock. We've thrown so much at this. Today we're at 16,000 miles, and I promise you 14,000 miles of those they're just beat up. It's ridden hard.
Yeah, we beat the out of this bike,
but
guys.
It gets ridden hard and it gets put away wet sometimes.
Yeah.
And it sees its fair share of abuse, and not without love. Don't get me wrong, people. It gets a lot of love too. It finally gave up. We started this with the whole prospect of how far will the stock comp go.
Yeah.
Also, this transmission, we haven't broken that yet. Sounds like we broke the comp. So finally, 16,000 to answer that question. It's 16,000 miles, 3 different top ends, a bunch of exhausts. This thing has had upwards of 165, 68 foot-pounds of torque and 165 horsepower put at it. And today it delivered on our exhaust, it delivered staggering numbers, 161 and 157. I think it was like 156, but a clean 156 and a half. So finally the comp's like, you know what, I'm done. I had enough. Y'all put me through enough.
I don't want to be a comp no more.
So
here's the kicker. Harley-Davidson corporate is on the way to the shop right now. It'll be here in like 15 minutes and we just broke the bike. And Cruci is also on the way. Comp's an easy replacement though, right? So nothing
yeah,
huge.
We may actually have 1 or 2 stock ones floating around. I think we might actually have a Star comp in stock. So if we do, then we'll put a Star comp in there for you.
And hand it over to Chris.
Hopefully nothing else broke real bad, but it sounded like just the comp. I didn't romp on it, so we'll fingers crossed that it didn't muck up too much else. But we'll find out. I really thought we'd break long sooner. So I'm in a way, it's funny that I'm excited.
Obviously, like a props to Harley-Davidson and stock components.
Yeah, absolutely. No complaint here. Like I said, 16,000 miles of abuse, rough riding, dyno abuse, road abuse. It doesn't just sit around. It's not a show clean.
Well, if you guys have actually ever seen us like at a meet and greet or something, I'll ride the bike. It'll be dirty as
yeah, just like it is. You never cleans the damn thing. But if you guys know the history of this bike, it gets ridden. To finally break something is kind of twisted that I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to see what it is we broke. I'm 99% certain it's the top.
All right, we've got metal.
Yeah, we do. It broke pretty clean, so I didn't go revving on it. We didn't have to go anywhere, you know, so fortunately, I kind of knew what happened. Now, if you're Joe Schmo and you don't know and you're just trying to go, I like how I just put all that together. I can't help it. Dr. Seuss all of a sudden. But if that happened and you're in the intersection trying to make it go forward or I don't know, you're wherever trying to get on your on-ramp or something, you'd probably do more damage. You wouldn't know, and you'd try to keep going. It's gonna do a fair amount of damage, as you see. Now that's pretty instantaneous on the cutoff power-wise. I didn't give it much more. As soon as my brain said, hey, I know that feel.
Onward with the disassembly so we can see what actually happened, but there you go.
Now, what's the risk I run where, like, if I broke it, I'm 5 miles away from home and I'm riding it for 5 miles on a broken comp? Like, all right guys, this is literally worst case scenario, but here's a kind of a replacement to look at for you guys at home. These are the ramps, or a cam lobe, and then these interact. This takes up the torque when you romp on it. This allows this to slide a little bit. What it does is it takes the impact out of the chain. If it breaks clean, what I call a clean break like this, which is normally how they break, then they're kind of sandwiched in here and they can't really fall out and make a bunch of damage. But worst case scenario, if it didn't break clean and a chunk of this got out, you see how close everything is in here to the primary housing, and there's a chain up here. So if a piece of this got lodged up in there, it can lock the engine up potentially, it can break this case, it can cut into this case real bad. It is replaceable. It's not your engine case, but it's still stuff that could go bad. And obviously when you're running hell, 3,000 RPMs and a big chunk of metal gets locked in there, it's not a fun way to stop your engine or yourself.
So if that happens, I guess to me or to any of you guys, I would just kill it, tow it, because obviously this is not as expensive of a job. Still pricey. I mean, I don't want to say still pricey, but
comparatively,
cost efficient compared to like really damaging stuff.
This is more expensive. You don't want to break this.
Right.
Definitely don't want to damage this. This is the flywheel.
Right.
So that part of it is the engine. So anything that goes wrong in here is much cheaper than anything going wrong in here or in there.
One's like, I want to change my comp, but like, you know, we all say that, but we really don't even know what we're changing. So it's nice to have this open and actually see it.
So do we know the difference between this one and the Star? You can look at it. Oh yes, cast is poured when it's hot. If you poured hot water in a glass and just let it cool. Forged is also poured in. But then once it's poured in, it's compressed, so it doesn't end up with air bubbles like what is in here. I'm gonna let you testify, and I'm sure they can visually see there's a big difference between material.
Oh my God.
You can just see it, right, visually. And do you feel the difference? Like, feel that, and then it's amazing that you can literally feel the strength difference,
right,
by just holding them.
They're always like, should I get the Man of War? Should I get the Star Racing? We typically recommend the Star Racing one. Less expensive than the Man of War.
Do you want to go
What's
grab
the difference?
We should grab that Man of War too.
Do we have a Man of War here?
We do.
Okay, here. All right, now this is getting crazy. So here's the Star Racing one. Let's grab the Man of War.
Since we're bringing them up, Justin said these are questions he wants to know, or he wants answers to, so he thinks it'll be interesting for you guys, so I hope he's right.
So now this makes sense. Should I get the Star Racing billet car or the Man of War? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna keep that, but that's the that I get all the time. I'm one of those people too, because I don't know.
I am when it comes to other things.
Yeah.
Bet.
We just see the things on Instagram and TikTok and the internet about how the stock compensators are.
And we actually did this to put it to the test.
Right, and this thing lasted,
yeah, 16,000 miles.
For a long time, getting beat up. 50,000 miles in the dyno room, like, dude, a road trip across America, geez.
Yeah, it's seen its, I mean, it for what it is, and the fact that it's stock, it is very durable for stock.
We're at the point of taking his stock one that broke off. You might as well just upgrade it while you're there. I mean, obviously you can do the stock one, but with the motor like this, might as well as beef it up. So why is it that I would get this one, the Star Racing one, versus the Man of War comp? Because those are the two options that are the most popular. Because obviously this is like a whole freaking thing with the sprocket and everything. Oh my God.
It's heavy. This replaces all of this. So all the springs come out, that comes off, and it just becomes this. So inside of here, behind here, there's polyurethane bushings that can be replaced.
I don't know if this is a vague question, because everyone's always gonna ask which one's better.
Well, so honestly, I don't know that either one is more better than the other, I guess. I definitely would say this is more of a racing application for sure. This is known to make a little bit of noise.
I was gonna say, yeah.
So there's some noise associated with this sometimes that isn't necessarily associated with this. This is durable, but it's only as durable as everything else around it. So there's that as well. I haven't actually seen an outer sprocket break, but you know, everything happens. This for sure is probably the most durable, period. The only way I think you're going to destroy this is to just rip this blinds out of it. That's probably the only way. This one, I don't foresee this one ever breaking. Like I said, it's only going to be limited by the strength of the parts around it. We use this, although every week we're putting in a few, so these aren't requested as much.
Well, and we have put these on customer bikes, and when we do, they always end up emailing us talking about the noise.
Well, at one time there were some hydraulic shoes in here, and I think you can still get them, that help take up that chain slack to get rid of some of this noise. With everything you change, there's a possibility for something else to fail. I have seen the hydraulic chain tensioners fail, so unfortunately I think the best way is to just leave the spring loaded one in, or Baker has the new attitude adjuster.
Nice.
So you can also go with that, which would get rid of the noise.
I don't know how much a stock one is, but I would assume the labor is the same regardless, so you might as well upgrade while you're doing it instead of just doing a stock replacement, right?
Labor's the same, absolutely.
So add a little bit more if you do this one?
No.
Well, I'm going with this one.
Well, with as much abuse as we put this thing through,
Yep.
I'm thinking that's the candidate. No knock for anybody out there. We're not using the Star simply because of what we put this bike through. And again, that's not knocking George's comps.
Yeah.
Great comp. So
we sell these all the time.
It's the best comp I could find, or comp ramp. But an overall complete package compensator, I think I'm gonna go with that.
If it was me and my bike, because I don't have a 131 build with heads and everything, and a race cam, I would go with this because I'm also economically efficient. So I would go with this, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's awesome. I know like I said, these fly off our shelves. This,
they really do.
Just seems...
This is a little bit overkill for your everyday rider, potentially.
Exactly, right.
But this is not an everyday rider.
Definitely depends on who you are. I mean, we have people here that were doing 135s with superchargers on.
We got the stuff for it, so things are starting to come
So like
together.
obviously if you're doing something like that, or you're pushing what, maybe even 140, 150 horsepower torque, and maybe consider it. But I mean, we're a dealer with Dark Horse and Star, and we obviously do this. So if you want, Blockhead Moto Garage.
Oh, listen to this.
This is where you go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Blockheadgarage.com, fill out the form, it'll put you in touch with me. If you're not comfortable doing this job, or if you need parts, hit us up, we'll help you out. Cool, so Chris is gonna bundle this up, and we'll be right back.
Yeah, sorry guys.
And we're back. And it's together because that's how goes.
Hey!
Forget to hit the record
sounds
button.
familiar. It's back together. One other thing I wanted to add that we didn't really talk about, and I'll kind of show this real quick. I kind of wish I had a really bad one to show you as an example. I don't. When you take one apart and you see one of these typically are so worn down that these sideways grooves are gone. You can't see them. They're just one big flat. Well, this is 16,000 miles. Just some overall good riding with a lot of power. That's really good wear considering that's stock. So we know that the comp broke. We'd rather have that break than anything else because it can get much more expensive. But also I just wanted to show you that the sprocket, it handles the power as well. It doesn't wear too badly when you keep your comp torqued. When they come loose, that's when they rattle around and get worn out.
Did we bring up the stator getting damaged? Because I know previously I had asked about what other components can get damaged around the comp if it breaks, and one of the culprits was actually
right. And we didn't film this part, so this is part that you guys missed. So I'm glad you brought that up, Justin. This is the stator that came out of it, and yes, it did get damaged. If you see right here, one of the windings got cut. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of moving it around. That was due to one of these little tiny pieces getting caught in between the magnet and the rotor and just getting it just right. So we did replace the stator as well. That is one of those pieces that could have been damaged, as we covered earlier. We got all screwed up with our filming on this moment, and we had a lot of things happening. We had some big names in the house yesterday, and we went and met some big names, so we were a little bit busy.
On stator note, for those that don't know, what does a stator do?
It charges actually, and alternating current, or AC, a regulator rectifier, depending on how you know it. It converts the alternating current to DC current. For those of you that don't know the difference, just think of water. Think of a flat lake. When the lake is flat and it's glass, that's DC current. It's a flat line. When the wave has wakes and ripples and waves, that's alternating current. They're wakes and ripples. So it's just kind of an easier way for someone to understand the difference between an alternating current and a direct current if you don't understand what alternating means versus direct.
And if your stator's not working, it's not going to recharge your charging system.
And
it's going to kill your battery. Your bike won't start. So that's something that is vital for the operation of your motorcycle. So we had to replace that one little nick. We are going to see if we can potentially get it rebuilt. So
yeah, I'd like to see if someone locally will rebuild these. I know there's some guys out there. If anybody knows in the comments, let me know. I'd like to get one of these rebuilt, and I'd actually like to check it out and see if it's something I might want to do myself in life. So if anybody out there knows anybody that does this and still rebuilds these, let me know. Leave it in the comments, please. Thanks. All right, guys, there she is. Back together. This is our new exhaust pipe that is available. This just netted us 161 foot-pounds of torque. I'm gonna round up to 157, 156 and a half horsepower. Best numbers we've gotten on Goldzilla so far. Best torque line. There's absolutely no torque dip at all. I started the pull at 20. This one's at 2250. Given this is an SNS 590 cam, that's a low start point, but we started at 2250. I don't have the graph right in front of me, but I want to say it was like right at 130-ish. Maybe 131, 132. Then about 3,000, it kind of bumps almost to 140, like 138, 139. And then at 35, it's just, wow, it's just flying. Very impressed with this pipe. That's what ultimately broke the compensator. Again, this has been, unfortunately, this was filmed over like 2-3 days. We've been a little bit busy since this happened, and a lot of things. This was supposed to be ready for that ride, and unfortunately, we broke the comp right before it. So anyways, here it is. Got the stator. That's what was the big holdup, was the stator. We had the comp here. With that being said, I don't know how to close this out because this is something we started with Blockhead, and Justin was out here, and now here I am by myself. So this was the first like official thing we broke. This was something I expected to break a long time ago, to be honest with you guys. I didn't think that the stock comp was gonna be, I don't know if durable is the right word, but I'm gonna use it. I didn't know that it was gonna be that durable, or that it was gonna withstand that much power for that long. For those of you that want to hate on the stock one, yes, we knew it was gonna break. We all knew it was gonna break. It's stock. It's only built to handle so much, but we wanted to push it to the limit, and we found the limit. And the limit, in my opinion, is about 160, 160 constant. Like, and you need to use that power too, because when I broke it, I was using it. It's pretty durable stock. So you know what? Look who just snuck in. Justin, you want to finish closing this out? I was in the middle of saying good evening, good night to everybody.
Oh yeah, so, blockheadgarage.com.
Well, I already did all that.
Oh, just kidding.
Don't
even go to blockheadgarage.com. Go to Blockhead Moto. Check out our merch. Buy some suds and bubbles and clean your bike with stuff.
Good job.
There's another thing too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And we got exhaust is out. Like I said, this exhaust.
The
is
exhaust
out.
should be out, so definitely order that.
Anyways, where we were was have a good day wherever you are. And I'm just gonna do some. There's